Twisted Metal is back. After years of waiting, the Ultimate Car Combat Series finally hits the PS3 later this year. To find out more, we spoke with David Jaffe, the game's legendary designer and creator of the God of War series, along with Scott Campbell, co-founder of development studio Eat, Sleep, Play. Here's our exclusive interview with the team.
The journey from the start of Twisted to where it is now, it didn't start out to be what it ended up. Scott and I started Eat, Sleep, Play, and we were going to do very small PSN-centric games, and then that grew into, hey, let's do a PSN version of Twisted Metal, and as people started seeing it and really enjoying it, it kind of just morphed into what it is now. What hasn't changed was the realization that with PlayStation 3, we could finally come within striking distance of the original vision that Scott and I had. Giant, motorcycle gang convoys racing down the freeway, battling it out in rush hour traffic. And I think with online, we were like, wow, we finally get to do that, but bring it to 16 players at the same time.
What's interesting is when you get onto a new platform as powerful as PS3, you just kind of across the board think, okay, I'm going to turn everything up to 11. That's not always a good thing. I mean, some of the things that made Twisted Metal 2 a good multiplayer game were system limitations. It felt a little bit more strategic. You had to pick your shots, really waiting for that ultimate shot. We both kind of always refer back to that. It's like, how do we update that for our current version of Twisted? It's been a challenge.
I think the best interactive entertainment is when the spectacle and the strategy are the exact same thing. You experience at first a spectacle, and then you realize, wow, there's actually some meat here that I can use to get better at the game. We have free-for-all modes like Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch. Then we have a couple of more unique modes. The only one we've really unveiled is one called Nuke, which is kind of the Twisted Metal take on Capture the Flag, where each faction has a number of leaders in the level, and the other team is trying to capture them by running them over. And you have to drag them to a missile launcher. And ultimately, if you can keep the enemy faction leader in that proximity ring long enough, you will be able to sacrifice him, and thus you earn your team a missile. What I love about it is that all the vehicles and all the weapons have really been designed to promote teamwork.
On the weapons, a lot of the old favorites are back: power missile, fire missile, homing missile. But they've been refined, and for the first time ever, we have an instant kill weapon. We've got a sniper weapon. The other thing that we've added is more depth on the special weapon. So there's an alternative fire which takes more skill and strategy, but you get a bigger damage payoff. And then on the one-player campaign, David and I set out to really try and address the rinse and repeat issue that's kind of plagued the campaign in past versions of Twisted.
There is a decidedly old-school factor to some of the design decisions we've made in the campaign. Everything these days doesn't have to be cinematic and epic and wanting to be movies. I mean, this is coming from a guy who worked on God of War. But I really like that we're making something that embraces itself as a game first and foremost. It just feels pretty cool to be able to deliver a game that I think is kind of a fresh take on the shooter.
It just dawned on me as I was playing the game today. I mean, we've been working on this game for 2.5 years. I thought, wow, I still enjoy playing it. It's like playing a Twisted that you've never played before, but the stuff that you loved about Twisted, it's all still there, but it's updated.
David and Scott, thanks so much for your time. And gamers, we'll see you on the asphalt when Twisted Metal hits later this year. We can't wait.
It's great to be back.
Hey, check out a new Gamers Weekly every week at foxnews.com/gamersweekly, iTunes, and hulu.com. We'll see you there.